Everyday superpower, where we talk relationships, dating, body language, everything in between. I got a good one for you today. I'm gonna give you some real good game on this one. You will start to perceive this as you continue in your journey, learning about psychology and sociology and the interactions and dynamics between people, man and woman, two and one, groups and individuals, societies and global affairs, and so on and so forth. You'll start to see patterns emerge within the micro and the macro that represent each other in an esoteric, magical sense. You would say, as above, so below, so within, so without. There's a duality to everything, whether it be global, that will represent the micro and the so on and so forth, right? And we're not going to digress into some grand, spiel about the unseen. I'm going to talk to you about the reality of relationships and the reality of the nature of woman and how she perceives you, especially in relation to other people. And this is on an unconscious basis. Consciously, she'll think, ooh, he's disgusting, or oh my god, he's hot. That was a turn on for me. But she won't necessarily understand the biological root or the unconscious reasoning as to why she's come up to that conclusion. I mean, some may do, but I sort of believe that unless you research this information and understand it through the theoretics of such, it can be a little bit ambiguous to try work out yourself. But let me give you the game. So she is always in a position of assessing where you stand in the pecking order. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say we're in an office. Yeah? Such as you might be. And if you're not in an office, you might be on a work site. If you're not in a work site, you might be... Where else do we go? Hell, I don't know. You're just in some workspace, full stop, and there's a lady there who you like, or there's a lady there, full stop, and she knows the team. You know the team. You've been in that team for some time. So has everybody else. Everybody knows each other. Okay? There is a pecking order between the men of dominance and submission. Okay? Some degree of that will be emphasized by the role within the business and organization that that individual upholds. So your manager might be able to play with you a little more so than your colleague or your subordinate. That's the way it goes. Yeah. From a body language standpoint, we could go into a deep depth, but your boss can come up to you and sun you and rub your head and touch your shoulders and do all of this crazy stuff, whereas it's a little more uncomfortable for the subordinate to go and ruffle and be pally-pally with the boss in that manner, right? Because that's just a separation in the power dynamic. So we have to take into consideration that. But now, foundationally speaking, what comes prior to the workplace dynamic, the structural and corporate dynamic, is the man-to-man, human-to-human relationship. You as a man should only take so much shit that's necessary, okay? So if your boss is, just being your boss generally and being a little more loose in comparison to the other people you're working around with and you need the job, sometimes you just have to roll over and take it, right? But you as a man should also have boundaries, okay? I've had bosses who have said, come here, and slapped on their leg while looking at me whilst I've been new in the company. And I've looked at him and said, no, you can't, I don't care whether you're paying my bills or not. At some point, there has to be a boundary that you're not willing to pass. And I'm not going to come over to you like a fucking dog because you're paying me so much an hour. No, my self-respect comes before that. And the thing is, when you say no, regardless of them being your boss or not, that's when this pecking order sort of gets re-emphasized and redialed in and reassessed by that individual at hand, right? That boss is going to look at you and think, oh shit, I shouldn't do that anymore. Oh shit, maybe even apologize. And if they get an apology, they are self-aware that it's wrong. They are self-aware that it could be escalated further. And even as your boss, they don't want that. That's where you need to be as a man. Now let's take that into position and put a woman there, right? Boss does that. And then you go to the boss as he disrespects you in that manner, suns you, and, you know, it's disgusting to me. But this is what's happened, and I'll tell you more examples. So listen in. If you were to go forward to your boss, that woman already portrays him as your boss anyway. She's already got more of a soft spot for the boss because he is showcasing, the garnering of resources, probably gets paid more than you, might be more mature than you, has more rights in the organization than you, more control than you. All around, he's probably more of an attractive man than you are in the eyes of her, and she might not understand why, but if she thinks, if I get it on with the boss, I've probably got more benefits in this company and in my life than if I get with him, who's the subordinate, who might look good. And this is why we can disagree with the black pill, because it's not all about looks, honestly. It's not all about looks. Looks don't play too much of a role in this situation. Yeah? It's a matter of dynamic and masculinity and power and resource and so on and so forth. Now, you don't go up and you say no. She looks at you. Oh my God, I've never seen anybody do that before. He stood up to the boss. David and Goliath. He stood up to the boss. He stood up to someone I can't say no to. He doesn't care. Oh my God, he didn't submit to that display of power, and he's made the boss look stupid. Hey, if you read the 48 laws of power, you never outshine the master. Oh, I need to submit. No, we can break the rules. We can break the rules. Because we know if we get fired, we don't care, because we've prepared for that in advance. Because one of the, I don't know where it positions itself, but one of my personal opinions is one of the laws and principles of masculinity is independence. Go struggle and live by yourself. Get out your parents' house. Be independent. Yes? If we want to be number one, we can't be grouped in. We need to be number one. We need to be independent. When it comes to being on a work site, people are going to crack jokes at each other. Banter. Banter is utilised and disguised as a means of identifying who we can bully and who we can't. Yes? All of these engagements and jokes possess a degree of truth. I don't believe in jokes. If you go and see a comedian, the best jokers around, and you listen to what they say, all of their jokes are based on some degree of truth. They don't just make something up and hover it. They create things to laugh about in regards to reality. Yes? If I say to you, all right, you ginger to oh my God, did you just get out of bed? Because you've done your hair that morning and done a Mohican or something, and you feel really proud about that, and now you've got some next guy pointing the finger and cracking jokes at you. You don't have to turn around and laugh in return. You don't have to. If you don't find it funny that somebody laughs at your appearance, you can say no. And that woman who perceives that will see you as bigger and better and more masculine and in a dominant position to that guy who's clearly testing you. We talk about shit tests when you go dating and, oh, this woman is testing me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I wish they didn't test me. That man's doing the exact same thing. That man who is trying to find your boundaries, and some are worse than others. Insecure men will do it more. Narcissistic men will do it more. Psychopathic, sociopathic man are going to find out whether you can be walked all over or not. And if you can't identify the signs and you can't read between the lines, you're going to flop it and flop it and flop it and flop it. And the women who are looking at you just think, I'm not too interested in him. Nah. But if you pass each test, and when you set up strong boundaries, right? Not far boundaries, not loose boundaries where they're like flipping rubber bands where they just go, oh, yes, he can make fun of my mother. Yes, he can laugh at my child. Yes, he can make a joke about my appearance and this and that, even though he doesn't know me. I'm okay with that today. When you don't set up firm, close boundaries, you're going to be perceived as a spineless walkover. And like the reputation of the fearsome man who nobody wants to fuck with, you're going to unconsciously create this entity in the minds of others as an individual that people can use and abuse. It's uncomfortable to stand up for yourself when you're not used to doing it. But at some point you need to understand that you have to. And when you're engaging with someone and something just triggers you, whether you question, is this person disrespecting me? Whether you genuinely feel something, oh, I didn't like that, what he said there. You're going to have to say, nah, we can't do that. Because the moment they understand they can do that, they will continue doing that. Bro, if I fuck your mum and you don't do anything about it, I'll continue doing it. Yeah? But the moment you pull a gun out of me and say, don't flipping do that, I'm not coming back. Set a boundary, man. Otherwise, people will take it above and beyond. And the thing is, these men think that this people-pleasing attitude and the fact you have to be friends with everyone and the fact that you have to be just like this loose, cool, calm guy, they think that's the way they need to be to impress a woman. No. You have to go against what society tells you. Look at everything society's done. Look at everything the media tells you need to be. Look at the way people are portrayed and think, wait a minute. Everybody is doing this. Would it be wrong for me to take the opposite route and go against the grain? Why shouldn't I do that? And the moment you start doing that, you start realizing it opens up a content of self and character and quality that nobody else has, because everyone's been told to go against that in this grand social engineering to reduce us to weak men. I'm putting you on some good game. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. You go into an office, there's going to be a man in there. Every man. But there's going to be one man to highlight the one who picks on a certain amount of people to different degrees. And for some strange reason, he doesn't pick on that one guy who stood up to him the first time he did it. I'm that guy. Not the guy who picks on people. Well, let's be real. I am no different to no one else. I am but man. There are going to be people in my life who I think I can kind of walk all over. Maybe I should take the piss out of him. That's fun. And certain men who I don't want to engage with, especially in regards to laughing and joking about each other, because I know inside of that man is an entity I don't want to ignite and deal with. We have to play it safe. Is that a pecking order thing? Hey, yes. If I'm fearful of the response I will get from someone for poking them, in the eyes of the woman, that's quite attractive to that man. But me, as someone who is playing this game, I would recommend you as an individual, don't insult no one. Go through life, chill out. If you've got some very close, good friends and you can crack jokes and get along with it and you've established a good, genuine relationship over years, then we can start, chilling out and hanging out to that degree with each other. But don't just think you can go and be pally-pally and poke people and do this and that, because you don't know who you're dealing with. Real talk. And that woman's going to look at you as somebody who doesn't have such degree of insecurity that you need to test other men like that. And she will see you as, even though you don't do that, you're not a victim. Because when it has come about that somebody's tested you, you've stonewalled it, you've put a barrier up, nope. Whether you've not responded or whether you have responded in a fashion that says, nope, can't do that, sorry. She's going to see you as a man who is strong. Yes, sturdy, reliable. The qualities she wants in the father figure for her children of tomorrow. Pay attention. Look around you. I'm signing out. That's some game. Click like and subscribe.